Hey guys, it's Kelsey and back with another scrapbooking process video. I initially started this page and forgot to hit record, but thankfully I had to stop pretty quickly to go run an errand. So the only thing you missed was me double matting that photo. This is the final photo from our girls' Savannah trip from last year. And I decided to mat the photo in that multicolored skinny diagonal stripe, and then I pulled a tone-on-tone green paper from the die cuts with a view paper pad just so I could have a more solid mat behind that kind of busier paper. And from there, I'm just pulling in all my scraps that I have for this month. This is my final 12 by 12 for Simple Stories. We're not done with this kit yet. I'll be continuing to use the rest of the scraps by pulling in 12 by 12s from the die cuts with the view paper pad, which I feel coordinates really well with this one. But I thought it just worked out really great how the final 12 by 12 was for the final page for Savannah. And this is one of my favorite pictures that Becca took of me when we were just on the pier enjoying the evening as the sun was going down. That one photo that you guys saw with the guy who caught the shark was the night before this one, and Bennett had already gone to bed. But I just thought how cool it would be if he could watch someone catch another shark and get to touch it the way I did, just because he's such a shark kid. Um, and so that was the plan, was we were going to go back to the pier and hopefully someone else would catch another shark, which no one did catch a shark, but one person caught spadefish after spadefish, and she was like the only one catching anything, and it was just one after the other, and she was nice enough to let Bennett touch one of the spadefish before she threw it back. So that was pretty cool, but I just love this photo. I love the sun going down. It's just so beautiful, the ambiance of the photo, and I just thought the yellow background really popped with the blues in the photo. So this is just my final page, just documenting me on this trip. As a scrapbooker, we often forget to include ourselves in our journeys. I try to at least get some selfies of myself, so I'm in there somewhere. But I really appreciate when my family members and Marcus take photos of me so that I can have photos like this to remember and document. So one of the things I really wanted to make sure to use from my scrap pile was this final strip of this cut apart that has all these little travel rectangles. I just love all the colors in it. And I decided I would pull in once again that multicolored stripe to border that top and bottom for a little bit of pop with all of those colors. I wanted to include a little bit of texture, so I pulled out my notebook punch again and did a notebook edge punch on that rainbow stripe on the top. And I kind of left it plain on the bottom. And then I kind of felt like the yellow from that multicolor stripe was running into yellow of the background and causing some of the areas to be confusing. So then I decided to pull in a scrap of that white-based multicolored polka dot to go behind that. So I just did some torn edges for that piece, top and bottom, again, just to add a little bit of interest to these layers. And then I had one scrap that I gutted from the broad multicolored stripe that I used as a 12 by 12 as a background this past month. And I decided to use that as a third mat behind my photo. And then from there, I just wanted to layer up a couple scraps behind there to pull in a couple more blues. Although I'm using multicolored papers on this page, I'm really trying to emphasize the blue and the yellow because that's what I really pull from the photo. So that's my plan. I really wanted to get the rest of this cloud paper on here. So that's the first thing I layer up behind that mat. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to incorporate that piece because it's not big enough to be have as much of a present as I want. But what I decided to do is again pull in the notebook edge punch for the top just so that has a little bit more interest. And then I'm going to cut that piece in half so I can stretch that small piece of paper behind those more horizontal layers so it looks bigger. I really wanted that light blue to be a little bit more present than it was when I first layered it. So this is just a way I get to cheat to make that paper layer look a little bit longer. And I'm going to do the same thing with the navy paper with the multicolored plus signs on it behind that. So that's the plan. You can see me trying to piece together all of these scraps. This is what most of my pages look like, but especially when I get down to that final 12 by 12 and I'm just trying to squeeze a bunch of scraps onto the final page. I do have quite a few scraps left even after this one. So I'm excited to see how those look when I shift my focus to the die cuts with the View paper pad, because that will be the remainder of this How to Kill a Kit with Style, trying to use the remainder of the Simple Stories kit with the die cuts with the View stuff. So I'm excited to see how that process goes. But I had fun with this kit. This Simple Stories kit, it's called Here and There, and it just really is the best little travel collection. I really enjoyed working with it. So here's me just stacking that cloud paper again on the top and the bottom. I went ahead and glued down these horizontal bits, and I kind of put myself in a corner because adhesive was blocking that lower paper, so I just had to wedge it in there between the adhesive. But again, with this navy scrap, I'm just cutting it into 2 pieces and stacking it top and bottom so it looks like a longer piece. I just really wanted a darker paper to kind of ground the rest of this, and I love the contrast between that aqua and navy against that rich mustard. That's the background. So this is pretty much my paper layers. I knew I wanted to get at least one more tag used up on this page, so I pulled in this little Discover tag. It emphasized a lot of the colors I'm using on this page. And then I'm trying to get a couple more of the more difficult things I've had a hard time using this month used up while I'm still using this collection primarily. So I'm using the little yellow geotag with the airplane, the little aqua geotag with the star, this little chipboard stack of suitcases with the camera, and then I'm actually getting that little Yes Please chipboard piece. That is something I threw in from a leftover from a Freckled Fawn kit. I pulled in with this kit hoping to get it used up, and I'm squeezing it on this page. So I just wanted a little something to create a visual triangle. So I have this tag here with the suitcases as my primary cluster. I have those 2 geotags up at the top. And then that little Yes Please is just my little extra piece over there. I didn't want that side to be too busy because I like the way that kind of cut apart paper, that horizontal piece looks. And I want that to kind of breathe. So now it's just piecing everything together. I thought about tearing these bottom portions the same way I did with the polka dot, but I kind of felt like that would be too much. This page is already, there's a lot because I'm getting a lot of different kind of busy papers together. So I left those straight, just trying to balance which papers I decide to have an interesting edge on and which ones I'm going to keep plain. I did back that tag with a couple scraps of paper just so it has a little bit of dimension. I'm threading that with green and white twine, and then the suitcase I will lay flat onto that tag, but the part of the suitcase that overlaps the tag, I'm just going to add some dimensional foam behind it so that it lays flat, since the tag now has dimension. So that's all I did there. And now I'm just trying to glue down the rest of these little bits and pieces. This twine is much too long, so I will end up trimming it. But at this point, it's just gluing everything down. The only thing I know for sure I want to add after this is I want to get some more word stickers used up, just because there's so many word stickers that are very travel themed in this collection. And this is the last page from this vacation. I still haven't quite figured out what other pictures I'm going to be documenting with what's left of this collection, but I doubt it will be travel themed. So I'm really trying to get the travel stuff used up where I can here. So yeah, trim that tag. I'm going to glue this final little chipboard piece down that says Yes Please. Really happy I got that used up. I was really hoping I could get that Freckled Fawn piece on a page this month. So super pleased with that. And yeah, just word stickers, and I will do my white acrylic paint mixed with water splatter on this one. I'm trying to keep that upper left yellow open corner just bare, just so your eye has a place to rest, because there is so much going on within the other papers. So I contemplate at first starting a cluster up there, and I was immediately like, no, it needs to stay open. But adding the white splatter at the end kind of helps fill in that area without filling it in, if that makes sense. And with these word stickers, I'm just trying to get a bunch of different colors that are in this page used up. So I have a light green that says explore, a yellow that says sightseeing, a darker green that says remember this place, a navy sticker that says bon voyage, and then a white with navy text that says along the way. And I'm just going to stagger those along the bottom. I kind of realized once I threaded the tag, it kind of bled into that top embellishment with those two geotags. So I thought it might be nice just to create this vertical line of embellishment, since those two ended up bleeding together. So I'm just extending that embellishment down using the word stickers, and I think that looks kind of cool. It just adds a little bit of interest down to that lower part of the page without having to do too much. So here is the final word sticker, and then I'm going to mix up my white acrylic paint and water really quick just to make this little splatter formula, and just going to splatter it with a paintbrush, and I'm done. So this one was pretty quick. I'm excited again to just pull in my other products that I pulled in with the How to Kill a Kit with Style, so we'll see how that ends up going. But I had a lot of fun documenting the Savannah trip with you guys. And hopefully I can get back. I have a lot to catch up on since I skipped ahead quite a ways to document this trip with this collection. I kind of have to backtrack and document some other stuff before I get into our honeymoon cruise. Who knows when that will be, but I can't wait to document that either. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.